See, doctors are engineers. Doctors are engineers.
Mechanics.
Doctors are architects.
There's nothing.
There is no job.
Nothing we can't do.
See, because apart from doctor stuff, I think this goes for everybody in the medical field. We're constantly improvising.
So knowing everything you know now, right, about the medical field in Nigeria, what would you advise your 15-year-old self entering uni?
Moji, what would you advise your 15-year-old self?
Run.
Jackpot.
First of all, run. Because,
Please.
girl, like, I'm going through a lot. Because, like, honestly, I feel like medicine is nice. I like medicine, honestly. Let me just make it clear. I love what I do. I like the path I've chosen. But if I could go back in time, I definitely, now knowing what I know, that there are so many other ways to make money, less stressful ways to make money, less stressful ways to just live.
Enjoy life.
Yeah, to enjoy life.
So if you want to enjoy life, you flee all appearances of what?
Let's even be honest. There's no money in medicine like that.
No.
It's just suffering. Just suffering and vibes.
But wait. If your 15-year-old self were to tell your mom or your dad and go, oh, mom, daddy, I want to be an artist.
I want to do music.
Or I want to do music.
Sure.
What will happen?
They will help me unpack my load.
I'm telling you,
First of all,
in
I
Nigeria,
will be under the bridge.
in Nigeria, the only certified professions, medicine, lawyer,
engineer.
You've got to do one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
what is music? Wait, music?
You can't do
You want me to
music.
spend how much and you go to the university
You
and
can't
study
do- you can't
music?
do it. You can't.
Nah.
My daddy will be the one to tell you not blue.
As in,
You will not blue. You can't blue. You can never make it.
And then they'll list the fact that, for example, in the music field, they'll list that these people had their degrees, they went to school, they still went to
Yeah.
study. So you two, you have no reason not to go to school and study. So, my dear sisters, we'll still have to go
But
through the same
funny thing
suffering.
is, if I told my 15-year-old self to run, I think I would not have listened.
Yeah,
I think I
me
would
too.
have still gone ahead to do medicine.
Oh, no, you can't
And that's
advise.
the annoying part, because you can honestly just go and do tech or just
Computer
something
science.
Well,
else.
tech wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah,
then.
it wasn't.
It
wasn't
It
really
wasn't.
a
But
big deal
if I
then.
had known,
that's what I would have done.
But
Sasha.
I guess we can't turn the clock in. I mean, you can't go back in time.
Right?
Yeah.
We're on this path already. So now, how are we going to make the best use of it?
That's for later. 10 minutes later. No, I just want to rest. I actually just want to rest. All right. Hi guys. Welcome to Noisy Streets. This is the 4th episode of the 21st year. I hope you have a great time in this episode. Okay. My name is Mariam Buhari. I am in Babcock University as of now. I'm final year medical school. With me, I have...
Hi guys, my name is Moji. I can see I am a final year student in the University of Ibadan. You know, the first and the best and all of that. And yes, so I am studying medicine and surgery, and yeah, I'm here today.
And hi guys, my name is Deborah. So I'm a final year student in the University of Lagos. They call it the University of First Choice and Nation Pride,
There's
but
not any first
I already
choice.
know
Let's be
if
honest.
that's
not
the
any
University
first choice.
of First Choice in this country, then I don't know. We don't have any hope in Nigeria, but God have mercy, please. And
You might watch it in your school.
oh, okay,
You
please
still have a
scratch
few
that.
months, okay?
Unless they are posting it after I've graduated.
I like to remind my VC that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be a UI student.
Yes, sir. I'm grateful, ma'am, for the opportunity to study in the University
Why are
of
you
First
lying?
Choice and Nation's Pride. It's an honor.
Okay, so the big question we get asked all the time, why did you choose medicine? Moji, why?
Okay, I know this is going to sound very cliche, but I actually chose, first of all, I mean, everybody that is smart in high school, they will tell you go and do medicine. But me, I was more math inclined. Like math came very easily to me. So I was very torn between doing, I mean, there was a time I wanted to do law, but that's like, it became like between math, because I liked sciences. So between doing something math related like physics or engineering, something that would test my mathematical skills, and then doing medicine, But I always wanted to help people. I know it's cliche, but seriously, I always just wanted to help people. I was that kind of person that wanted to like have an orphanage and do things that would actually help me help people and make an impact. But
Do you have an orphanage now?
She will not first eat. She will not first. It's not somebody
Let
that
me
has food to
brief,
eat that will
please.
feed other
Let me
people.
brief. So that was why I decided to study medicine.
Okay, Deborah, so why?
Okay, so for me, while I was in secondary school, I wanted to do food science and food nutrition. I'd be food science and dietetics.
I can already hear my mother like,
Yes.
go for
Okay, the reason I chose that was
as in,
the reason I chose that was because my friend's mom did that and she's very successful and she could cook really well. I love eating.
That's what you say. That's what you say. You want to
I
eat.
love the idea. I love the idea and I wanted to do that. But after secondary school, I met with a counselor and they were like, oh, you have really good results. And would you like to study medicine? I was like, nah, definitely not. I never saw myself doing
Wait, sorry,
that.
question. You guys had a counselor for like...
No, it was somewhere else, not in
Oh,
secondary school.
I was like,
Please, not in
we
secondary
had,
school.
we had anatomy economics and she was a witch.
Oh,
Mom, she was always
no.
pregnant. That's my problem
girl,
with
like,
her. You always
And I never
every
saw any
year.
of them
Igbo,
kids.
right?
Like,
Yoruba
Igbo.
ladies. Yoruba.
Oh,
always in a bad
always
mood.
pregnant.
So you think I would tell her about my
Foul mood.
problem?
No, definitely not the counselors in my secondary school. I think we need to do better in secondary schools.
We do.
So she was like, okay, I can either go for dentistry or physiotherapy. And at that time, I wanted to, like, I was already changing, I changed my mind. I was like, maybe I should do psychology or psychotherapy. So when she mentioned physiotherapy, I just thought, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like psychotherapy. So I filled my form. I had no idea. No one was with me while I was filling the form. So that's how I ended up here. And I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What about you?
That's me. Why did I study medicine? I'd see, if you ask me now, I actually don't remember because I'm sure at that time I was brimming with passion. You know, I just want to. Is
Help
that Ben Cassin?
people.
It's Ben
Yes,
Ben
it's
Cassin.
Ben Cassin.
It's Ben Cassin that did this to me. When I read that his book, you know, I was feeling I want to
Gifted
be a neurosurgeon.
Yes.
I want to be separate.
You can change the world.
We're moving too much.
See, 2 years into it, I said, wow. Oh, so this is
world
what they
has
really
changed
do
me.
here. What a life. This is what they really do here. Nah, it was a mistake. But anyway, I think I would have still done it again, child.
Yeah.
I think as stressful as medicine is, it gives you a wide range of options, right? Yeah, it gives you a wider range of options.
Like
anyway.
what, please?
Yeah.
Medicine is very wide.
Very.
You don't have to do
Extremely
clinical
wide.
medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
do
definitely not
research,
doing clinical
can be in the
medicine.
lab. You can, if you hate patients,
You can even
but-
go into
but
the
the thing is that
administrative
through the
part.
training, like if you're squeamish, you don't like blood, you can't avoid it while you're training. But
Yeah.
when you graduate and you can really cone down, if you want to do research, you can be in the lab all day.
You
make
can
your
go
money
into the
too.
administrative parts. You can do
Yeah, I just
like
wanted our audience
health
to know
tech,
that.
anything.
Anything.
Actually, it's very
One
wide.
telemedicine now that is coming up.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm doing. It's not me, them. That will be doing no palo, no jaundice every day. No. Okay, so for the next question, what is your experience like studying medicine in Nigeria? What's your experience like, Deborah?
Well, it's a dog world out there. Because right from entry to university, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Like you have to, the exams, UTME has to be top notch, WAEC has to be top notch. You get into 100 level. I don't know if they do that in your school, but like still in 100 level, you're competing.
Of course.
To get into 200
Yes,
level.
of course.
So like out of 100 people, we have like, just doing an average, probably just 50% or even 20% going to clinical school. And then we're like, okay, you struggle to enter, you struggle to move to your second level. When you get to your second level, you're like, finally you can breathe. Lies. You cannot breathe. There's no breathing space.
I remember after our 4th year, Pat and family said you can finally rest.
No.
Pediatrics was like, hold my beer.
Hold my
All those
pulse.
children are like, wait,
It's
you
just
think
my
you
neck.
you've been saying shaggy?
My neck.
Yeah,
no.
we have
I think that was my worst
pediatrics
time.
is
Actually.
a
Pediatrics is actually very-
one of the
I
one of
mean,
the hardest.
whoever said
That was my worst
pediatrics was
time.
child's play
It's a lie.
is a joker.
Honestly.
Obviously, they were playing now.
Everywhere, and
Because, it's all
across
cute
all
and
schools.
cuddly, cute and
Everybody will tell
cute
you
babies.
pediatrics.
Honestly,
lies.
Initially, I actually thought, okay, babies. I like babies now.
Yes,
we
we
can
all
play.
like babies.
Yeah, I never even
Shebi
liked
is
them.
play. We
No,
will play.
I don't
Just
like
to make them
babies.
happy, just make them
By
smile.
the time I was not a pediatric person,
I knew I was not going
I
to
didn't
work.
like them anymore. Not so much.
And now it's weird because when I see healthy babies, I'm not quite sure what to do with them. Like I understand sick children, I understand, but when
Right.
they're healthy, I'm like,
So you're just fine.
okay,
I just
hi, nice to see you.
But anyway, so how this is probably for you both, Sha. How have these strikes affected your studies? How would you
But this
say?
is not for you.
It's not for me. I can't relate.
She cannot.
I cannot really
Private school
relate.
privilege.
Sorry.
Anyways, for me, the strike, I feel like people don't really understand. Strike is very impactful. Like people don't really understand the constant breaks, especially when you're studying medicine where everything is so tied together. Like me, between my anatomy, like when I did anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, those are like the foundation years. Between then and when I did my clinical medicine, I wasn't in school for like almost a year. So like there's going to be a very obvious disjunction between those two parts of my training. Meanwhile, they should be merged. Like it should be something
just
I
be
just learned in
flow.
anatomy. It should be what I'm saying in clinical parts. But there was just like a really big break. And then there comes this like, then I feel like it's even this strike that made, like there's a large range of people that will tell you now that they are not going to practice. I feel like because during the
It just
strike,
makes you
people
really
picked
tired.
up other things. First of all,
That too.
tiredness. Then they picked up
Yeah.
other things. You start sewing. You say that, wait till. If
can't
I
can
sew,
make
if
money
you get,
with it.
if I
I don't
sew
have
and I'm
to
not
die.
going to go and expose myself.
Yeah.
And then COVID too, people died. Lots of doctors, health workers
Exactly.
died. You just start thinking about it. Like, is it worth it? Like,
And our hazard allowance
do
that
you
is
get
like
hazard
how
allowance
much?
is small,
So big.
everything. So people started to weigh their options. So
I see that
we
it
lost
wasn't really
people.
worth it.
Like literally, people died. We lost people. Then
With passion.
the passion, everything started to
down.
die down. And yes, so strike really does that. And then, of course, the quality of doctors that you are going to be birthing from the medical experience while you continue breaking their education will definitely be.
Dwindle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think I'll just pick up from what Moji said. I always say this when I want to get married, and all my vendors are gonna come from my class because
Honestly,
there's a photographer,
honestly, everybody's there.
there's a caterer,
Same girl. Like,
there is
Makeup
a
artist,
baker, there's a makeup
everybody.
artist, there is a hairstylist.
I'm sure it's someone that is doing 10.
There is an event planner. There's someone into gadgets. Every single thing is covered. So basically, everyone picked up different things
One thing
during
or
the
the other.
holidays.
yeah.
I'll call it holidays because really, really long holidays. And
Government approved holidays.
yes, government
But I
approved.
think I can relate. I think you are
holidays.
being quite unfair. I can relate now. We
Because
are
of
that
COVID.
COVID,
Yeah.
exactly COVID, and then
That was
this
just one time.
2-week election break. I can relate to.
Well, let's just give
you
her.
hitting on
Yeah.
me.
Yes,
Sure, tell
yes,
us
you
your
can
experience. Tell us your experience.
Okay, it's not much of an experience. I still in online classes, Sha.
No.
I would say
Imagine.
I beg you.
Did we have online classes?
Towards the end, we had, but like I call
No.
it cooking Indomie classes because
Honestly.
I mean, I'm just like, is there accuracy? Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm
Yes,
here.
sir.
I think
I'm
there was one time during online class that the class ended at 4. By 7, I was still there. I was sleeping. Oh God, we're 2 remaining there. I don't know whether we're sharing snore, but I think we're sleeping. Oh my God, I woke up before the person. I had to call the person on the phone. That got cut. The class has finished, but it's 7 p.m. Cut the call. But it was quite a stressful time because I mean, at the end of the day, we had to come back to school and relearn everything we learned before.
Yeah.
Because you cannot practice medicine in your
Yes.
house. It's not possible. But anyway, as far as experiences go, it was one.
At least we can tell our children.
We
right?
can tell our children.
And tell them that if I went through this,
You can even say there was war
There
that
was-
time.
Do you know how I strove?
And I was still first in class.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Was
definitely
dodging
going to do
bullet.
one of those.
I climbed mountains
I was
to
not
get to
deal.
class.
That one I'll cast you. You can't like. Anyway, so were there any specific experiences or role models that influenced your decision, Moji?
Oh, me personally, not really. Even the whole Ben Cassin wave, I was not so moved. Like,
So it was us that were Momo.
it Yeah, I was not so. I mean, somebody I've always looked up to is Oprah, and like I said, Oprah is more into the philanthropy, which is what I wanted to do. So I thought medicine would give me that exposure to like do my philanthropy, have an orphanage.
You have exposure
but now,
You have
like
the
now,
exposure
and I
now.
thought it would give me money. Do you
Okay,
get? Because
yeah.
at the end of the
Sorry.
day, for philanthropy,
That one.
the most important tool is
You need
money.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I realize that like if I had focused on making money, then I could have been able to achieve my dream faster too. By now, I'd have been done. And so
But you can
yeah,
offer
so
your
it's
skills
definitely.
as well.
But then
You
like
need money to
the
boost
lives,
it.
like if I'm a doctor, the amount of patients I can see over a 20-year career, maybe 800. But in a year, as a philanthropy, I can have an orphanage that houses 800 children. You get like I'm able to reach more people.
Yeah.
In that
Which is why I
way,
was
so-
telling you the other day that like it's why I feel like public health is a better route because at least like if you're involved in like policy making, it's easier to reach
more
more
people.
people
Yeah.
than
Being in clinical.
being first like first hand clinical stuff.
And then sometimes after all your drug self, patients is not
Exactly.
doing well, and you're
And aside
just
from
like,
that, like patients that cannot even pay for food block counter is like 2K or G get like all of that. And as a medical student, you learn to just give up your allowance to your patients.
I say it all the time.
At the
So
end of the day,
that's
like,
why it surprises me
they're paying for
online when there's
everything.
this debate of doctors.
Because
don't care.
doctors
I'm
are
like,
doing a lot.
I don't think there are people that
honestly.
care more because the amount of times we've combined to raise money, especially in pediatrics, where
It's not
they are
only
seeing
money,
a child that
blood
does
too.
not have oxygen.
Blood.
We are the ones,
Who donates blood.
We are the
Who
ones
give
that
our
donate
allowance,
blood. We're the ones that give
everything.
allowance. We're the ones. So it's really
crazy.
surprising when people.
It's actually crazy.
That you don't care, right?
So
Well, I
what else
feel-
you want
I-
from me, please? I'm not
I feel
Jesus.
Taking my-
there have been or there are bad eggs that
True.
and the thing is bad stories travel
Doctors
faster.
lose
Definitely.
empathy along the way.
Yeah.
True that.
Some anyway.
So especially for someone who comes in for another reason and you see that, oh, you came in for probably you want to make money or you want to be famous and sadly after 20 years you are in debt and you're not famous. Nobody knows you.
Honestly.
There's tendency to lose passion. So
They've never paid your salary in 2
Yes,
months. that kind of
exactly.
thing.
So when people see you firsthand and you give a wrong impression, human beings, that's how human beings are. They just use you and tag every other person
Yeah.
that this person doesn't care. Because personally, I've met with doctors who are not passionate at all. Like there was a case of, I went to the hospital and a man was having seizures. Obviously, we know that, okay, it might not be a serious deal because it just happened. Just have to wait for it to elapse. And the response from the doctor was, are you the first person that will do this kind of thing? Why are you shouting? Why are you complaining? You know, that kind of thing. And then what's the impression that people will have? People who are not knowledgeable, they'll go, oh, doctors, they don't care if the patient dies in their presence, blah, 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 blah.
You see, it's a two-way thing, right? I feel like also the way the patients and patient families that doctors have encountered and like they've been hurt
Honestly,
by also
true,
sort of
Sometimes you do.
It creates
exactly.
Yes.
At the end of the day, like the one that's I've just slapped you before in the hospital.
Honestly.
No, they have not.
And you see-
There are doctors that have chopped slap,
Yeah. No,
they've
you see,
injured
there was a
them.
strike recently. Like doctors were not providing care because the patient relative stopped it. It's a big case.
It happens.
Just last
Honestly,
week or
I had a
so.
friend.
There
I had a
was a
friend
strike.
that in their hospital they do not wear scrubs. They don't wear lab coats either. You're not going to be able to identify the doctor once you go in, except you meet him attending to a patient, and that's because if anything happens to, let's say like all these agberos now, they bring in somebody, maybe they shot somebody and they brought the person, and let's say you bring the person almost dead or even dead, and then you go and tell the relative that, oh, the person is dead. Trust me, they're coming back with boys and you don't want to be there. All of them, they're off. You see them climbing the fence. It's a serious thing.
That has
no?
happened in Luz before.
It's serious.
Yeah.
They brought, I think one Agbero's girlfriend had an accident or something, and
His
they
babe,
rushed
go
her
chop
to
slap
Luz.
now.
She was almost dead, and
Yeah.
then before she could be attended to, she passed on. Sadly, the guy just called his boys, and I think that day they killed a doctor. I'm not.
You know,
certain
that's
of
what
the
I like
fact.
That
about
happens a lot,
emergency. A&E doctors are not normal. Like, first
They
of all,
can't
they
be
them
now.
boys, They too, they are
pumping
boys. So
adrenaline.
you're coming, bring your boys to me. To meet Boys Pro Max. Boys that understand exactly where to hit, bro. I pity your life because no, A&E doctors, they are quite, they know how to deal with their patients. They know how to, they know how to deal with each other. But yeah, for like this doctor was in radiology. Most people go to radiology because they don't want to wallow in life. They want to just sit down. Their work is very important. They want to sit down under the AC, be able to do their work and go home.
Yeah.
But you are not coming to slap Omolomo that just ran away from the stress of income medicine. So like obviously that was
Anyway, so could you share some of the most significant challenges you have faced during your time in medical school? And like what are the most interesting experiences you've also had like while studying?
So my own significant experience was 2 years after COVID. Like COVID ended, and then the year after that, 2021, I decided I was not going to study medicine anymore. Like I decided it was not a choice. I'd already decided. I was already looking into transferring and everything, like what other department I can go. And it was because of the deaths. Like the deaths started getting to me. Like UCH is a very big place. You're walking down the hall, somebody is crying. And I had lost somebody close to me a few months before that. So it was basically reliving my own experience. So I was like, I can't do this. I can't. Like every time somebody dies, I see my own. And I was like in the hospital like that, crying like that. So I would just be passing somebody's. I'm like, there was a time on ward round I was crying myself. So I'm like, I can't do this. So I decided to transfer and everything. But then I realized that if I transfer, I was already in my 4th year, I think. If I transfer, then I'll have to go back to, I think, first 200 year, 2nd year. And that's if I even transfer. I'll probably have been able to transfer in my own school. But if not, let's say I'm not doing again, I want to drop out, then I'm somebody that just has a WAEC degree. Do you get a secondary school leaving certificate? That would be my highest level of education, which did not make sense.
Yeah.
So I basically was like, okay, let me just keep pushing. And then I actually ended up discovering my love and like for medicine, and so it helped not dropping out then. But like I think that was my biggest challenge, is getting used to people dying. People die every day, like every day.
And knowing that they are close to you.
Yeah.
Like it's just close at hand. It's not far.
And even sometimes like you're already, especially if you go for ward rounds a lot and then you stay in the hospital like extra time, you get used to some patients.
Yeah.
You get friendly
Like
with some of
yeah.
them, especially the kids too.
Yeah.
You get used to, seeing them around. And when you see a kid that probably has like Hodgkin's lymphoma or something, it's a type of cancer.
Yeah.
And, eventually, that, if this, you see the relatives and they don't have the money to even treat the patients or anything. And you just know that this patient's probably going to die. You already know. You get like it hurts a lot sometimes. Yeah. But again, it has to develop tough skin. That's one of the things that
because at the end of the day, you have to keep going. Like in A&E, after you do CPR for somebody, you have to go move on because there's another patient waiting. You can't just... That's why sometimes it seems like they're heartless because once you're done...
Let me tell you one
because
experience
you can't
that I
leave
had
somebody.
in A&E. I think I was on call that night. I don't know if I was on call or I just gone just to go and check something, or they called us that there was a procedure or something. So I went to A&E and there was a woman, I think I was just thinking about this, that she a dog bit her a few months back. So she got rabies.
Okay, yeah.
And they were not giving her like herbal concussion, agbo and the rest for months. They brought this woman in and a few minutes later, like she started to bark. And, like, I saw the doctor go and attend, because the doctor isn't my friend. So I saw the doctor go and attend to her. But like, as they were trying to resuscitate her and everything, she passed on. Sad. And I was just thinking that, child, somebody's mom has died. But that was the time that World Cup was. And I saw the TV, they were watching World Cup. Plenty of people gathered there.
And they were excited.
After the doctor finished, he said, Mama Aisha's packed up. Oh. They covered their face. My guy went back to go and watch football.
Because,
I said,
you do.
And he was shouting, go. I said, After everything, he now went to go and tell the woman's relatives, sorry, we're so sorry, I said, you that you don't care. But anyway, I mean,
I don't think, when you've seen a number of deaths.
Yeah. At some point, like,
yeah.
you just have to, you can't let it weigh you down.
And I
if
feel
not,
like
you'll be able to attend to the next
if you let it
person.
weigh down, you won't be able to attend to the next person.
You won't give your all to the
And
next
patients
person.
misunderstand that to mean not caring. But it's
And
not.
sometimes
really
it's just
isn't.
the coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like for me, okay, there was a time we were posted to the ICU unit, the ICU rather. And there was this particular child. That time I was like in 300 levels. So this is my first time, and I was like getting attached to this particular young boy, and he had cancer.
Sure.
And every
Getting
day
attached to somebody in the ICU. First mistake.
First
I know,
mistake,
right?
oh.
So I gave him my very best. I researched about him and everything. What can we do to make him better and all. The next a week after when we were to go there, I looked at the bed. Someone else was occupying his bed. I was like, okay, what's up? What's going on? I never thought that could have happened. I just thought, okay, probably he had been transferred to the ward or something. Then when we asked the nurse said, oh, he just passed on a few hours ago. Like throughout that day, I was broken. Like
That reminds me of my first surgery too.
absolutely broken, because I'm like, did I do anything wrong? Could we have done something wrong? Is there something we could have, like, trying to putting all the blame on yourself that there's something that you could have done to have made him better or to have extended his life, because he was like 9-year-old.
The first surgery I attended as well, the boy was my age mate, so like it was very personal to me, because I was like, he wasn't supposed to die, but at the end of the day, he now had like peritonitis and it was really bad.
Yeah.
So he now passed on, like he had ARDS at the end of the day and just passed on. But he was my age mate, so I was like, like somebody, like it was so weird and scary. And I just started my clinical like posting at the time, so I think that was like my first death, actually experiencing first death in like on bed and everything. I was just like,
So when you have seen that multiple times, just like,
no, sorry. Anyway, so do you plan on practicing medicine in Nigeria? Do you, Moji?
No. By God's grace.
Yeah,
God,
do you want to tell your country?
God, please, anything that will make me practice medicine in Nigeria, let me not see it. God, please. You guys.
Affliction honoris again.
Serious, you guys, please. I can't do this. Like, I feel like I like Nigeria, honestly. Like, I was one of those people that used to say, I know, even like when I finished my medical school, I had very good results in secondary school. And so I could have like applied for scholarships and stuff. But I was like, no, like I was one of these patriotic. I wanted to stay. I was patriotic. Blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I feel like doing medicine now, and I feel like it will be a disservice. As much as I like medicine, I know I want to. There are some people that are not even sure if they want to practice. Me, I'm sure I want to practice. I know what specialty I want to do. I'm quite like, I understand what I want to do. So I feel like it will be a disservice to myself to study in Nigeria, because when I meet doctors, one thing they always say, me, whenever I'm in the hospital, I'm always in a very, like, I'm very bright, I'm very bubbly, I'm happy to dig into medicine and stuff. So the doctors are always like, so one thing they always tell me is that they also started like that. There's nobody that, most people, like as much as most doctors are not passionate, a lot of doctors that started here were passionate at the beginning of their careers.
Yeah.
So it's the same way the system frustrates everybody in every field. It's the same way it frustrates the doctors too. There was a time I wanted to pass a catheter for a patient. It's a tube that drains urine for patients that cannot get up to urinate. And that procedure should take me like 5 minutes. It should take me 5 minutes. Just lubricate, pass the catheter and you're off. But I ended up going upstairs, looking for cotton wool, looking for Savlon to clean, looking for this. Do you get? I ended up having to be the one to look for all these things. Before I was ready and done, it was like 45 minutes. So in that time, I would have been able to see how many patients or work with how many procedures you get.
Is the patients having to buy the gloves and
I'm
just like,
these are things that the hospital patients buy syringe.
Exactly.
Why?
Syringe,
and this is the emergency. If it's a normal ward, we can say, okay, things are bad in the country, but we call it emergency. Like these things should be available 24/7. And this is one of the biggest hospitals. This is UCH.
And we're talking basic things.
So these are basic things, spirits and everything. And yeah, so
and you're running around,
it's just very frustrating to have to, for me, I don't want to become what I don't like, which is somebody that yells at patients, somebody that is sad to go to work. Like, no, I can do. And then the instruments, we improvise. See, doctors are engineers. Doctors are engineers.
Mechanics.
Doctors are architects.
There's nothing.
There is no job.
Nothing we can't do.
See, because apart from doctors, so I think this goes for everybody in the medical field. We're constantly improvising. There's this oxygen flow splitter. We found a way to use syringe and tube to make it by ourselves because there is not enough oxygen for everybody. There is chest tube. We'll connect chest tube to urine bag. There is suprapubic cystostomy. We'll find a way to use this large bore needles to make it. You get so you're constantly creating things. Some people say it's good, but then why? There was a doctor. Do you guys see this doctor that got a doctor? You know that. So there's a tube, a fluid giving set. So sometimes we cut it to make tourniquet. Tourniquet is something that you tie around the hand to make the veins more visible.
Tube they tie around your
so
hand
generally, there's tourniquet. Like there are things that are tourniquet. You can buy it and everything, and that's fine. But here, because we don't have tourniquet, we use the fluid giving set to make it. And then somebody went to the UK and actually carried fluid giving set and started cutting fluid giving set, and it was such a big deal. And UK people, they don't care if you don't follow their protocol. They will say that you did. Like they don't care if you save the patient. They don't care if you don't follow what is in the books. Then you're doing something wrong. So it's just annoying having to improvise, and then the extra time it takes to get things done.
Well, they say it makes you more creative because I even know in physiotherapy we have to always improvise. We find a way to modify a patient's exercise or do something differently in order because we don't have some equipment. Yeah. So they say it makes us creative, makes us stand out, but
no, it just makes everybody know that you don't have anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so what do you guys think your peers abroad are enjoying that you don't have as a medical student in Nigeria?
No.
I don't know. I feel... okay, first of all, except you're on scholarship, you definitely have to be paying loans for the rest of your life. So I think that's one thing we are enjoying because in quotes, apart from now that they increased our school fees, we're doing free education in Nigeria. We're doing free education. So yes, we're suffering, yes, but we don't have to think about paying loans after we're done with school. So yes, that's one thing we are enjoying.
I thought they were about to introduce the whole loan system now.
But me personally, I really don't.
I don't think it works, People
I feel like the money. I feel like the government they've tried to make good points that they need to increase school fees because blah 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 other places. Like I hate when people compare Nigeria to other places. Nigeria is an underdeveloped or a developing country. It's a developing country, so to speak. I feel like education is the most important section. Like that is the last place because now you're making the school fees more expensive. I know there was somebody I knew that was saving up for this school fees. Like he was working, decided to work for I think 2 years so he'll be able to afford the school fees. Now somebody like that, I feel like he would just give up on school.
Yeah, honestly.
So me personally, I will pay the school fees. Like I'll pay the school fees. It's not so expensive. Thank God, like I can afford to pay it. But most people that will be able to afford to pay the school fees are also the same people that will be able to afford to travel. Because somebody like this, if he finishes school, he will work for you. He will be in the country for 10 more years, blah, 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 working. Even if they say, they are going to make it so that you can't leave until work for 5 years, that's fine. No. People will work for that 5 years, save money and still leave. I feel like instead of putting so much energy into trying to trap people, trying to say, we're giving you this thing as a gift, why not find out why people are leaving? Why not put measures in place to make this thing more bearable for people instead of, I feel like their energy is misplaced. Then, sorry, I don't know how we deflected from your question of what they're enjoying. First of all, of course, they're enjoying no breaks in their school, no strike. Then
they're enjoying electricity
and water. We don't have, there's sometimes, honestly, there was a time for up to a week, up to 10 days earlier in the year, we didn't have lights. Of course, water too. We're fetching water from outside and stuff, of course. Yeah. And you still have to redo. You have exams. You have everything.
We had exams. Our last semester exams, we spent them reading under street lights. That's how bad it was. There was no lights. So you're going under street lights, huddling together, and then there's mosquito. You'll be struggling
with the lights inside. What do they call them?
Lights insect. There's mosquito. There's everything. Then water as well. Rats, like all these basic things. I mean, why is a hospital and there are rats? So
rats that are not afraid of you. Rats that cats are afraid of.
So they don't have to worry about that. And there are problems I feel like maybe we'll still get to problems in the medical sector, but they're enjoying that. And I don't know, they're just enjoying the less frustration, the lack of constant insults. Every day we receive insults in this medical school.
Every day.
There was a time my lecturer told me that, not me, he said it on the ward round. So there's a condition called anencephaly, when a baby is born without a brain. And it is incompatible with life. Like, if a baby has it, they will die at birth. So this man told us that we all know that anencephaly is incompatible with life. So he does not know how we've survived this long. can you tell me, best student, one of the best students in my secondary school,
that you have an encephaly and you don't know how you survived.
So yeah, so all the insults and people just breaking you down, they don't really do that. Abroad, you can't do that. You can't tell someone that their father is mad, their mother is mad. Like, do you get? So
it's pus that's coming out of their ear.
It's pus that is coming out of their ear.
Yikes.
So yeah, you don't go through all that.
I think for me, one thing is I strongly believe, because I've seen, on Snapchat, like when you're watching all these like regular videos of the show, and you see like get ready with me videos, and you see medical students doing get ready with me. I mean, what time do you have to do this thing?
Bro,
What do you mean get ready with me? As per you have to.
When did you get the time from?
When do I even sleep that I'm wake? I sleep very late. I will end up waking up by 6 o'clock. Classes by what? 8 o'clock. You have to get there by 7:30. Yeah, because you cannot enter the class and the lecturer is already there. You will get out. So you have to be there by 8 o'clock. Yeah, you have class straight till what? 4. You will go to clinic. You come. Which gets ready with you? Who is getting ready?
Yeah.
And aside from that, I feel like they also enjoy the use of like, they have like actual equipment to use.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, because my sister was telling me, she's even like in radiology and the rest. So like she was telling me that you can be a consultant radiologist here, right? And travel. And it's one radiographer that will be teaching you how to use
Honestly.
it. Because we don't
That's what I
actually
mean about
have
improvising.
Yeah, exactly. We will be
don't have
improvising
so many,
with our
I feel
dark room and everything.
You can go
and
if you're
you
studying
travel
medicine. I always
and
advise
one
everybody
small
that
girl
is
be
studying
teaching you.
medicine. Of course, most doctors will end up doing that. You go abroad for training because this place is going to really limit you. It will limit Nigeria will limit you. Immediately after you're done with school, it will start. I always say Nigeria gives until you're done. I'm very grateful to Nigerian education. Trust me, it's good. Like, it's not as bad as people say. Oh, you don't know this, you don't know. You will actually be okay.
They make you know
will be on
everything.
par with your the other graduates abroad. When you're done, it takes your passion, your drive, it takes your love for medicine, it takes your will to even do anything, everything. So it continues to take your knowledge. Even the little while I'm medical school, they teach me everything. Like, oh, if you want to do this, you do a PET scan, you do this, you do that. So, but I only learned that in medical school. Once I graduate, I will hardly see them do a PET scan for somebody. True. So you even start forgetting what PET scan is.
Honestly,
you only remember how you're improvising.
Okay, what's the full
I saw a proper chest tube in a picture. I did not even know that was how it was. We use ring bag. We connect. So yeah. So I feel
they should give us space. Let's rest small. Another thing is holidays. We don't get holidays. It's very sad.
Okay, it's true. I saw a medical student saying that she traveled for summer. I was like, get summer. What is summer?
Wow.
We only get a week after every exam, like every major exam, which is a week every year.
No, they're not taking it from us.
And that week.
We don't have a week again, sir. It's weekend.
It's weekend.
You can't do anything you want to do during the weekend. Forget about it. Anyway, so how are you able to maintain your social life and balancing your social life while studying medicine? How's it been possible for you so far? Or do you not have a social life? Because some of us, we don't have.
For me, compared to medical students, I have a social life. Compared to normal people, I don't have. So because my friends that are not medical people are like, you never go out. My friends that are medical people are like, you always go out. So so I feel like having friends not in medicine has really helped to keep it. Because I have some friends like Shawa will not hear that, oh, you're in school. She'll say, no, you must come out. So I have friends that really will not hear that I'm in school 24/7. They will at least try, like even if it's just the weekend, even if it's one day, even if it's one event, please try to be there. So they definitely help to not make my life so streamlined to medicine. And then, but I feel like the higher we grow, the less, like recently people stop even inviting me to things. Because when you say no 5 times, they're like, she'll be busy. So they stop inviting. So the higher you grow in medicine, when I was in 200 level, it was easier, but now it's much harder.
Well, for me, I'm naturally an introverted person.
So you don't have a problem now. Your house is
where
your house is inside. You don't go anywhere.
And then one thing I'll actually like for Nigerian schools to incorporate is the fact that when you get to 200 level, all medical students, they move to a separate location. So it's kind of like putting you away from the rest.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, you have a friend that is a non-medical student. So if I don't have a problem with being social because I'm not stressed about it. If I want to, I do. If I don't want to, but for our social lives, if we could mix up with other
Other
non-medical
people.
students,
Yeah.
I think it would be beneficial to our social lives.
But you guys are on the same campus now, aren't
Nope,
you? Oh, you're
not
not.
at all.
Oh.
Like in a different location.
Yeah.
Oh.
We two were in a
we're on
different
this,
location.
we're on the same campus. We just have like separate halls. Do you get? And like
No,
I mean,
no, no,
our
no.
hall is in such a way that like if you really do not want to mix with the rest of the school, you don't have to, because we have a
Yeah.
separate cafeteria and the rest. So we just go from the hospital straight to from the hall straight to the hospital
why do they
to the
do that?
cafeteria back. Do you get? But like we're on the same campus, so if you really want to mix, like you can. Do you get? Like because non-medical students end up coming to the hospital, right, to see to see us and like the doctor. So we
Yeah.
end up still meeting them anyway. Do you get what I mean? But I think for me, I think I had a different personality when I started medicine, and
Yeah.
What you
now
have
right
now.
now. Before I was very bubbly and I was very I want to go out, I want to enjoy myself and everything. Now it's not, if it's not important, you won't see me there. Honestly, you can't catch me outside. Not for anything. Like if it's not food, or like if I'm not going to get
Or
food,
somebody really important.
or somebody exactly, you must be very.
Honestly,
I must treasure you for me
unless
to
you're
actually
super
live in the comfort of
important,
my
there's no
room,
way I'll
because
be
I'm
there.
alone in my room. Like I don't have a roommate or anything. So like my space, having my space, I think that was probably one of the biggest mistakes. Because once they gave me my space, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I just stayed in my room. So I think that was a blow to my social life. But all of them should sorry. At some
And I
point,
think-
you just
and I
figure out
think
that
also
nobody's
having
looking for you
to,
like that.
Like for me, I save all my social energy for the hospitals.
Ah.
So when I get there, I'm all hello, hi, what's up? You know, that kind of thing, not what's up, but putting all my
Yeah.
energy there. And then when I'm back, I'm like, okay,
It's
let's
because
recharge.
you're in Lagos. If you were in
Let's
Ilesha like
recharge.
me, the Baba will look at it. I hope, sure,
you
we're
get
okay. Are
like
you all
Ibadan?
right?
First of all, you have to switch to Yoruba.
Exactly.
Oh,
That
okay.
one will
So-
first drain you.
And plus, I feel like we go to the hospital every day. Like for us,
Yeah, we
hospital
do.
is school. Like when I say I'm going to
It's
school, that means
school.
I'm going to. So
Yeah.
I go to the hospital every day. You see, so it's quite impossible to keep up that.
Plus, when somebody just finished dying, is that when you be saying hello? Okay, you better be sad. before
If
they
you
slap
even say hello, they can slap you. That you're rejoicing over there. You're rejoicing over their downfall.
I think you guys have misinterpreted me. What I meant is like saving all my energy in the hospital. So I as an ambivert, I put all like there's a place where I'm channeling my energy. So whether it's been where all my emotions, or not all, but in the hospital or in clinical setting, I'm channeling my emotions there. So I'm relating with a lot of people. Like there are a lot of people I'm relating with at once. And then when I get back, like you said, if it's not important, I'm in my bed. I'm on my bed. I'm enjoying the comfort of my space. I'm recharging.
Yeah.
So that's how it is for me.
Haters will say I'm lying, but I'm an introvert, you guys.
I beg.
I don't really like
you.
to be around.
Stop it.
Can't even.
Stop. You're
I
lying.
won't lie. Please.
You're lying. You're already lying.
But like I always leave my room wanting to be quiet, but I don't know.
it doesn't
don't-
happen.
it just doesn't happen.
It can't happen for you. You have a problem. Anyway, so what do you think that the governments can do for medical students in Nigeria? As per like making everything, better. Like how do you think they can help
the
you
ground
survive
running.
better as a medical
Okay,
student?
while in medical school, yes, I feel like in medical school, of course, access to things like basic needs,
Yeah.
like water and everything, and feeling supported. I feel like a huge, and then mental health. So in my school, there's this thing where there's never been any, and I feel like UI does quite a good job of that. There's never been any set in medical school where we don't have one person that comes down with a mental illness. And when I say mental illness, I don't mean just depression. I mean like full-blown mania, schizophrenia, and all
that's
that. Like,
crazy.
yeah, so it's very, like, it's because the stress is a lot. Like, honestly,
It
medical
is,
school is
can't lie.
hard.
It
It is hard because sometimes you read so much and then you're getting passing grades. Like, there's
Yes.
nowhere else.
There
There's
was
no
a
other
time-
department.
There was a time that I was writing my medical board exam, and this was like a few weeks to my exam. And I was just thinking in my mind, and I knew that this has to be the devil, because why am I having this kind of thoughts? Because it was just like, so if I enter the front of this car now,
Oh my God.
what's the worst that can happen? Should I not write this
swear.
exam?
You guys have never been suicidal. Let me just point out that I've never been suicidal in my life. But one day when I was preparing for this pediatrics exam, they were fixing one thing. Like there are some people upstairs fixing one thing. I was like,
oh my God.
This plank, if you should follow me right now, I'm not going to write this exam. But then it's not even, it's just like wanting to, honestly, just wanting to run away. And so I feel like having a body or anything, somebody that really caters to that part of your mental health and like making you know that, okay, it's going to be fine.
Because you're already struggling with like actual like real life. Because the truth of the matter is, as a medical student, you end up spending like 7-8 years in school. Because even myself that I'm in a private uni. This is my 7th year. Do you get what I mean? So at the end of the day, you end up spending like 7-8 years. And you see your mates actually going forward, right? It's making money, having 2-3 years experience already. You're still in school. You've never gotten your uni. If you say that you should leave uni now, you don't have certificates.
I have a twin brother. I'm sure he doesn't even remember when he didn't wear me, I haven't even graduated.
Exactly. So like you struggle with that already. And then you have other like real life situation, like family problem, you're having relationship issues, because at the end of the day you're like 25 and you're still there. Do you get? So you'll still be something you should go and marry. Meanwhile, you've not even thought about next thing you eat in the afternoon before class. Do you get what I mean? So there's all of that going on, and there's just the stress that medicine puts on your shoulders. Like it's very stressful.
And
it's very stressful.
Pressure. There's an internal pressure to succeed because you want to pass.
I went through a time in my life. I think this was like 300 level, 400 level. I used to sleep with my textbooks on my bed so that if I turn, I'll be uncomfortable and I'll wake up to read. I slept with anxiety for over a year. It wasn't funny. Like I'll wake up and it will be as if somebody's chasing me. And I'm just like, how poor quality of sleep is this? You wake up and you be having headaches.
You be telling patients, sleep well.
Drink water, exercise. Meanwhile, every day I'm eating donuts and Coke. like a bricklayer every day. Do you understand? So it's quite stressful. There's a lot of pressure on you. And I don't, honestly, it's very possible that there's even more than one person coming down with one thing or the other. Do you get? Because you just feel like jumping.
And then another thing the government can do too is to try to understand the problem before making policies. Like, don't just make policies from the outside. Really try to like meet medical students, meet people that actually work there, and stop talking to. I found that government, they do this thing where they talk to. You're talking to the CMD, you're talking to consultants. Most times, the residents are the ones that are there 24/7.
Yeah, house officers.
The house officers are the ones. So they're the ones that really know the struggle.
Of the work.
Yeah, the consultants come for specific patients and not for that long. Do you get? Or they call and they're like, "Oh, just."
They've gone through. It's not like they haven't gone through. They've gone through it while. You know. It's just like how women. It's just like how women give birth and forget the pain, and then they give birth again. They get pregnant again and give birth. It's just the same way. Like you forget the struggles and how painful it was because you've gone past that, and now you're making the cool cash as a big dog. Like you forget how stressful it used to be, how you'll be on call for 48 hours, a whole week, 2 weeks straight. You're not sleeping well for 2 weeks straight, and you call it pilots. Oh, it's just a normal thing that house officers do, like it's a tradition. But this is stressful, and this is how patients actually die.
Yes.
Patients actually die because of these things. They can't give their best. These people have never had their best. Your doctor will be smelling. They've never had their bath that morning and they're attending to you. That myself can kill you now. The oxygen will not be enough.
And then you think I'll be nice to you and I've not.
You get.
I've not slept. And
you will prepare slides. If you mess up, you will do extra call or you would make you present
they'll first
something.
Insult you first. Just when they first insult you,
in front of your patient too.
So that's what they can do. Review. If you are reviewing policies, please talk to the people that are being directly affected by these policies. Then basic amenities should be provided. We should not be struggling for water. It's water. And then please, if you are cutting funds, I feel like school should be the last place to check. Like
school and health.
Health. Jesus.
Because honestly, like a lot of these things that happen in the hospital it still impacts negatively on us too.
Yes.
Like it's not just the patients, us as well. You make the doctors frustrated. The doctors will pass it on to us. Patients will pass it on to us. In fact, some patients they will not know that you're a medical student. They would have finished beating you. I'm not your doctor. It's not me. Honestly, they just sent me to come and tell you, and you beat me.
But luckily, you not beat. It was A&E, so the A&E doctor was like, huh?
So try it. There's honestly just a lot. Like for medical students, at least, like just we're in school. We're honestly just trying to even make us come out as the best doctors possible, right? So just even give us the inkling that, okay, studying in Nigeria might be, staying in Nigeria to practice might be good.
Exactly.
Do you get like,
Yeah, and I feel like
if they
pay
if
the
they,
people
if they
well,
want,
like the people that are in front of us, like our
pay them well.
our seniors, like let's see that you're
Treat
doing,
them
you're treating
well.
them well. Do you
Yes.
get like, so that we can even want to, it remains small.
Because
It's only
if
herbalist
they are doing
that will remain here. You will be eating an
because
apple a day.
they are losing, and then
It's not gonna work
I was
again.
laughing when they made that policy that people should work for 5 years. I'm like,
If you're going
we're
to make
bleeding
that
from
kind
the
of
top. We're losing consultant.
policy,
Is it consultant you'll be telling? We had a consultant that moved our entire family. So you're losing consultant, top people. At least if you lose an undergraduate like me,
there's no
you're not
harm.
really losing, because like I'm an undergraduate. I don't even have anything to give to the system yet. But somebody that you've trained for 20 something years, she's a top person that is supposed to be the best of the best in her field, and she's still going. So you're losing talents from way up that you should be worried about. So you should put systems in place to stop
And I
that.
always say, like, it's going to be maybe 5-10 years from now, but there'll come a time where it's medical students that start attending to patients and not
Or they will
doctors
shorten it
anymore,
to
because
3
you won't
years.
have doctors again. Exactly. Or they'll make it maybe from like 500 level. You will start. I'm serious. They would probably just give you a certificate at that point, because they won't have any doctors anymore. And
Because the truth
there's
is,
already
if
a
they want to-
shortage already.
If they want
So-
to actually keep doctors, if they want to keep medical people, it's not by laws, it's not by enforcing. Because if you enforce, people can
Honestly.
still live.
Medicine is
But
not even a place
making
where
them
you can force people to do
comfortable.
anything.
Do you know how many doctors are even going to go and do nursing abroad now?
Do you get? Because medicine is a place where I can choose to do the barest minimum. Like according to the law, I can do everything right and just choose. Like it's especially medicine in Nigeria. If doctors really wanted to do the barest minimum, patients will hardly survive. So it's not a
Hardly.
place you can force. So yeah,
They will so
I hold my
die.
fire. Do you get?
Yes,
Because
sir.
the 2.5 I'm dropping for that patient, if I decide not to drop it, it is not. I've not done anything wrong according to the law. It's not. So it's things that people are still, as frustrated as they are, there's still a passion component. So you don't want to take that away. Oh.
This even reminds me of like, you know, like all this, there's some religious practices that maybe will not allow you give blood or, you know, all those sorts of things. And doctors literally have to write like letters
many-
to like courts, you know, to
honestly.
get permission to still save that life. Do you get? And I don't think a lot of people know these things, but doctors actually go the extra mile
Honestly.
of doing these things, like calling lawyers, calling
Yes.
judges, just to get permission to save a life. If they actually just say, oh, I'm just going to do the barest minimum. There was a patient that, you know, she was supposed to give birth to twins, and Jehovah's Witness, they don't give blood and everything. You know, you can actually, you know, write to the courts, call and all of that. But it's a long process, because you have to go
very
through.
long.
Exactly.
You have
It's a
other
very long-
patients. It's not like
And
they're
you have other
telling you
patients
to focus on only
exactly.
her.
So honestly, if I choose to just do the bare minimum on that, you know, aspect,
just move
patients
on.
will die with their children inside of her. Everybody. And hi, Nigeria. God bless us. So how was your journey in medicine? Or has your journey in medicine rather contributed to your personal growth and development as an individual? How would you say it has really impacted your life?
Well, my journey in physiotherapy or my journey in medical field, has it contributed? Well, I don't know. I don't know how it has contributed.
For me, number one is discipline. It has definitely made me a lot
Yeah.
more disciplined. Like
Yeah,
before, I
definitely.
would just wake up and do whatever, but now you can't. You will fail,
can't do.
truly. Because when you tell people that you have an exam in 3 months and so that's why you cannot go out today, they don't
They
understand.
don't understand.
But
They never get to
even
it. They're
with
like,
the 3 months reading, it's still
Yeah,
between
it's still
vibes and
life and
inshallah.
death,
You're begging
oh.
God that
Yeah.
God, remember me, your child.
Yeah, honestly.
So yeah, it will definitely make you more disciplined. Then empathy. You're going to be way more empathetic. You will see people die so much. Like even the heartless people, there is still a little component because I don't think you can.
Even if you're
fully do
wicked
this. Even
naturally,
if
as
you're
per they give
wicked,
birth to you and Satan the same
Yeah.
day, you will still
you
learn
would
it.
learn. Then like I feel like you will have a different appreciation for life because people that are not medical people, they have this opinion that like people that like, especially if you've never lost somebody, you think that death is so far. Death is not far from anybody.
It's really not
People
far.
that die are not different from you. They wake up just like you and me. They go to work just like you and me, and then they die. Like it's not. Especially accidents. You have accident victims.
Yeah.
They were going somewhere. Did you get? They have this. Sometimes you call their family members and they're like, "Is this 419?" Because they don't believe that this has
Yeah.
happened. So yeah, you definitely have this like respect because people can die anyhow.
It will drive you to God. There's no way.
There's
Then
no-
appreciation
It's either
for
it drives you
actually the
to God or
little
it just
things.
drives you
Yeah.
to severe
Appreciation for
For the
depression.
little
Yeah.
things, the very
Yeah.
the littlest things.
It's
Because
so
I remember
sad.
seeing a patient who couldn't just do this. That was a big
That's when
deal.
you know
That, I can do this, and this is important for picking up this, or seeing a patient with Parkinson's and going, this is
the resting traumas.
Yes.
Like you just be like, but just pick up the cup now. But it's not as easy
just raise up your leg.
The mind is
it's not that
wild
hard now. Just raise it up.
Yeah.
Like-
Or people who have like deficiency, like their Broca's area,
Yes.
they can't
They
understand what you're saying. They can hear you, but they cannot understand or they can't speak. You tell them something and you're saying another thing that is completely different. It actually gives you a different perspective on life. And
also, stuff in medicine. When you're doing medicine, medicine makes you very smart. Like you'll be there's no, even your worst doctor will actually be smarter than almost an average person, because it's just impossible to not be. You know a lot of things. Even if I don't know something, there's nothing that I feel I cannot read or I cannot learn.
Exactly. It gives you that edge.
It gives you the
confidence.
confidence.
I've had
if I dedicate 2 years of my life to it, I will learn it and I'll be good at it.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. I think discipline is the biggest part, because as a doctor, if you're not disciplined, you probably would not graduate. That's the truth. Because we don't. My school, I don't know about any like your school, but my school, they don't do pass fail like that. We do. This candidate has satisfied the examiner. Exactly. So
Following candidates
you have to. It's not about you
examiner.
passing or you knowing what you're doing. You have to have satisfied the examiner. If you did not satisfy the examiner, you will get a veto fail. One examiner can veto fail you.
Yes, if you don't
whether
dress well
or not. Exactly. If you don't dress well, you don't wear your tie,
say,
or
apart from
your
the
nails
say
are
that
too
you have
long.
satisfied us.
Well, can I say it again? That I'm glad I didn't study medicine.
Attitude-wise. You have to have a good behavior. Like shout out to my VC.
I think the funniest experience was one that so he went into we have oral exams now. So he went into the oral exam and they asked him a question, and the person that taught that topic was right beside him. And the person, he didn't know it. So the person the examiner now asked him, didn't they teach you? He now said no.
Not teach us.
The veto failed him. He said, don't worry, see you next year. And they saw him next year.
They do that in pediatrics, man.
And now I don't understand pediatrics.
What
Are you joking
you
with
and
them?
pediatrics?
I don't understand. Pediatrics is a very special.
I'm sorry, very terrible.
It's very
And
special.
I can't say that. I'm still going back to school. I'm still going back to school. Anyway.
It's a very nice department.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful one.
It has been
With cute children.
very cute.
Adorable.
Yes.
But
And
something
love all
I
the
also wanted to
consultants.
mention are problems with medicine. Like I've just divided them into 3: religion, financial constraints, and poor health education. So religion, first of all, everything that happens in this life, people think that somebody is against them, somebody is just
An
shot
arrow.
one
It was
arrow.
an arrow.
So me, I always tell.
was
So
definitely an
my
arrow.
mom is very, very religious.
It's
I always tell her
always
that,
village
mommy,
people
even
now.
if they shoot arrow at you, let's say they shoot arrow of headache, you will use paracetamol. You will you will pray too. Do you get, like, people think that medicine and religion
are so far apart.
Yeah, like they're contradictory. Just because you're using drugs does not mean you're not praying. We have doctors that are very good Christians, pastors in their churches, everything, and they still. So please don't say you're not seeking help.
It's God that
Because-
gave these people the knowledge.
Exactly.
Yes, now.
And
we treat
and
it's
if
God
we-
that
if
heals.
everyone
at the end
say-
of the
if everyone
day.
say, okay, let's use
still seek
herbs.
healthcare.
The content in herbs were extracted to make this drug.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's still
So it's not different,
balances.
and it's just safer. Herbs does not calculate toxicity levels. So you're taking
exactly.
this thing, but medicine is much more. We've calculated
Constructed.
That this is
that
not going
this-
to give you a kidney
that this
problem at the end of the
amount
day.
will cure you, but it's like we call it therapeutic index. So it will cure you,
Yeah.
but not give you more problems. Then financial constraints. That's probably one of the biggest issues we have in medicine, especially in federal schools like UCH. And you have 10,000. We had a patient that had triplets, and I think to admit that they were asking for 10,000 because. We can't, honestly, when people say, oh, the doctor turned you away, because you honestly cannot do much if you bring the patients in. So am I going to...
I feel like they forget that we're not the owners of the hospital.
Yes.
They
And
think
that
that's
we are
just
not
because we're the
plucking
doctors,
money
we're the
from the
owners of the
tree.
hospital, and we just want bad for them. We don't
I'm
want
not
to
going to
admit
admit you
them.
and
It's
be
not
looking
our
at you and not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So most times that's why they do that. And then how many patients and then they're like, oh, the doctor should have explained. How many patients will you explain to every day? It's just impossible. Like, so financial constraints, 2-5. So maybe policies. Like I remember one day there was this heated debate on Twitter that, oh, doctors don't care. If there is no money, they will turn you out. And that morning, we had a meeting in UCH where consultants were coming to say, oh, what can we do? Because there was a fight in A&E, like some patients didn't have money. So it's not as if nobody is fighting for you. Trust me, there are people representing you there and fighting and trying to see what we can do to make it better.
I think they forget that there's an administrative part of the hospital. Like, and we are not the ones that are there.
Exactly.
Honestly, like it's a whole, it's just like a normal business. Like if you cannot afford to pay a lawyer, trust me, you will go there and represent yourself.
And I always say that's why doctors are broke. Because me now, my friend is having a baby. She will call me, Moji, my stomach is this. It's me that will think, okay, this probably this. Moji, this. There is no other profession. I can't call my friend that is a lawyer. For me, come and sign this thing for me. She will say, this is the amount we pay for signature. You know this. You don't call an engineer. Come call an architect. But medicine, they will say, no, you're heartless, you're wicked. But then won't I eat?
Won't I actually eat?
So yes, I feel like that. So religion, financial. What was the third one?
I don't remember.
Religion, financial constraints, and
lack of
lack of health education. So there are lots of things that go on social media where people say, like I remember there was this thing that was trending on social media. You can't even fight them because how many people do you want to fight?
That's Twitter that they can drag your neck.
You can't even
fight Twitter warriors. It's a lie.
It's health education, like, oh, this person, this. So let me use a case study for a patient that happened. So there was this patient in A&E that was screaming. By the way, A&E is accidents and emergencies because we've just been saying A&E. It's like an emergency department. So there was this patient that was screaming on top of his lungs that nobody has attended to him since he came at 2 p.m. Now I think it was almost midnight, like 11 p.m. and nobody, like, he has just been there. Okay, I said, let me go. I'm a student. Being a student gives me the privilege of doing whatever I want. You get? So I work, although I'm working, but I'm not the doctor at the end of the day. So whatever, if I like, I can leave. Highest thing, I'll write letter and explain why I not come to school. But still, it's not like somebody that does the actual job. Yeah. So I went there and to find out what was wrong with him. And so I was like, what happened? So he said, nobody has attended to him. But looking at him, I saw that he had a line. He was taking fluids. He had a catheter. So we're monitoring his urine output. He had a wound that was dressed, everything. So, and I said, what happened? I said, like, just because a doctor is not by you 24/7 does not mean that things are not going on in your body.
He was the one that put it by himself.
You get?
He fixed
does not mean it was like, ever since they put the line. But I'm like, this urine, your urine being clear is telling us that like that you don't have a ruptured organ in your body. But so all these little things is what, like, I cannot give you an antibiotic and be waiting to see if it's working. Do you get? Like, I'm giving you and you're being monitored.
And I think aside from that, like even in like general outpatient clinics, right, where you see you know how you can how like seeing a patient can take time and everything. The truth of the matter is, like, people start to complain outside that, I've been here since morning, they've not attended to me. You came by 10 a.m. People have been here since 6, 7, right?
Bro.
And if it were you wouldn't want the doctor to rush your your treatments if you were the one that was there. So like, why? Like, I get it can be tiring, yes, but if you want to be attended to early, come early, and that's just the truth. Come early, and the truth is, you just have to be patient. And then you just have to be patient.
And then I even laugh when people say that they are waiting in Nigeria. Abroad, you're not waiting. Abroad, you wait months. When I say months before you get to see months, and they're still trying to poach more doctors. So.
My sister was trying to see a gynecologist. Yeah. They gave her an appointment for the year after.
Yeah.
But then I think I'm going to ask a question that might be in the hearts of our listeners.
Yeah.
That why the people that come, let's say they come today and then they come by 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. Sometimes that's the day that they were asked to come to the hospital.
Yeah.
So if you're going to compare between Nigeria and abroad, they give you a time.
Yeah.
They give you a fixed time, and you know that day they're going to attend to you. So why don't we do the same here in Nigeria?
Answer this question.
Yes, so I wanted to answer.
See, the truth of the matter is, we can do that too. It's not like we can't do it. We give appointments too. We give 4-week appointments, 3 months appointments. We do it depending on how frequently we need to monitor your condition and your medications too. But the truth is, regardless, we're still short on doctors.
Yeah.
Do you get? So there's no how we're going to do it. Yeah, we have like it's the ratio of one doctor to how many patients. It's crazy. So there's no how you want to give them appointments. You still end up overlapping, and there'll still be a lot of patients. There's nothing you can do.
If we do that, then the appointment dates will be way too
exactly.
long.
And some people, once their drugs are finished, they don't know to go and like buy another one.
So that was my point about health education. Abroad, if you give somebody a diagnosis, if you give a white person a diagnosis, trust me, by the time they are coming back to you, they know almost as much.
Yeah.
Because the way they research, your child has leukemia, they will tell you that, oh, this is survival risk. This is what the child needs. They know the symptoms to look out for because they've read. Abroad,
That
in
is
this
the patient,
Nigeria,
right?
Yeah.
No, like the patient,
Even the patient,
The patient, the
mom,
relative, everyone
everybody
knows.
knows.
But let's also consider that in Nigeria, a number of people are uneducated.
Uneducated.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
So that's the problem.
It
is
comes
the
from.
health
It comes
education.
from. Yeah, exactly. It comes from the problem
poor
of
health education.
Poor health
poor
education.
health
You have some
education.
people don't know that there are 2 kidneys in the body. So how do you start telling them that they have polycystic kidney? They don't even know. How do you? Will I draw?
Exactly. Lots of conditions that we can't
You
even
get-
explain.
And the truth is, we don't have enough time to dedicate to a particular
Exactly.
And the funny thing
patient.
is, you won't be able to explain the conditions to the patient. The patient will probably now go to another hospital and not be able to tell them what he
Is
has.
wrong,
You know,
yeah.
they will not be treating that patient for something else.
They have a patient that does not
It's
even know
just-
that they've removed
it's
one
stressful.
kidney in the
and
past.
then
Yes.
knowing that most Nigerians, to your first point, religion, they will rather go and seek information from somewhere else.
Okay.
They'll rather go seek information from somewhere else, and then they'll now come and tell you that you were probably lying or you wanted to swipe them of their money or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this has been an amazing conversation
Yeah.
about, the medical field with you guys. Where can we find you on social media? What are your Instagram names? Moji.
Okay, so my Instagram name is moj.i_.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't
What
use
about
Twitter.
them?
Twitter is it's too cutthroat for me.
What about them? What's your?
Then mine is Instagram, Zion Scribbles. That's all.
Okay. Mine is nisola.b on Instagram. So again, thank you for tuning in today. We're available on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can check the description down below. And please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can even comment, leave comments for us. Thank you. And also on the Spotify platform, you can rank us, or you can
Give us a
leave
rating.
yes, you can give us a rating as well. So please also do not forget that we have merch available. So please, again, check in the description box. You'd see the link to get the merch. Yes, thank you. So see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.